Yeah, fellas, I'm back with another example. Let's take a look at this woman. Now, some people call her fat, and I call her voluptuous and curvy. I want you to look at the back of her arms. Fat women have big saddlebag fat bags hanging on their arms. She's got a little bit of softness in the front of this arm here, but notice how she tapers in at the waist. Okay, you can almost see her abs coming through. She has just got just a little bit of juice on her stomach, but she doesn't need to have a six-pack. She has a large natural breasts, because breasts, all they are is fat bags, and they have mammary glands in them to feed babies. All right, she has wide hips. This is one of them short girls also, like this type. She might have did gymnastics as a kid and developed her leg muscles. I've noticed that there's a certain type of girl that gravitated to gymnastics, and when they come out of it, this is what they normally look like. They have a certain kind of body type, and they're short. The calves are developed. She has thicker ankles, but not huge. They're not cankles. They do taper down to a smaller ankle. She's got little bitty feet. I tease her about her feet. But look at the softness of her thighs. If she dieted down a little bit, you start to see the muscle. You can actually see some of the muscle coming through right here around the quad area. So this is what's coming down the pipeline, is more and more women are going back to their natural look. And it's sexy. It's sexy as hell. As they stop dropping the programming that was put on them from the 60s, 70s, 80s, up until the early 90s. Okay, they're starting to drop that programming, and they're going back to the natural look. Some girls are even going to doctors to get a look like this. And I love it myself. I realize that, you know, some of these girls, they're thick, and they may weigh as much as a smaller, frailer type of guy. And that guy might be intimidated climbing between these hips. It's just like, you know, if she looks like she takes like 10 inches. It could just spit it right out. And that's intimidating because of the width of her hips and the littleness of the waist. But if you do what I tell you to do in bed, you'll have no problem pleasing voluptuous women like this. It doesn't take 10 inches to satisfy a woman like this. Now, one thing that you got to notice is these kind of women, they're actually very fit. Because, think about it, there's no fat on her stomach, on her abdomen area. There's a little bit of softness on her thighs to give it that womanly look instead of the masculine, muscular look. Because that look is also going away too. In the 90s, women were going for the big quad muscles popping out and the calves popping out and stuff like that, and the lean arms. If you go back to the late 80s, early 90s, the girl in Terminator, I had clients come in, they want arms like the Terminator girl. They want to look like, you know, really lean and ripped up. That's now going away again. That's an offshoot of the bodybuilding influence. Okay, it's part of the whole package where women were trying to get the size zeros, but then they realized they looked unhealthy, so they wanted to look like they have some kind of muscle going on. So they say, "Well, I'm muscular at least." And by the way, those kind of women, they have trouble conceiving. When they're emaciated like that, they do have trouble conceiving. This type of woman, you got to make sure you wear a condom, make sure she's also on the pill, because she is ripe. And that's another thing that instinctually attracts minorities like myself to women like this, because we tend to be closer to our instincts to breed and procreate. You know, Latinos are having lots of kids, blacks are having lots of kids. So it's in our instinct to gravitate women that look like they could conceive easily and carry the child full term. It's in our programming, our basic genetic programming. It's a survival thing. That's another reason why we tend to gravitate more to this type. Now, my father, he liked the skinny type himself. You know, tall, skinny with big chest. And, but remember, his father wasn't black. So I don't know if that's what passed on through him. But definitely, this is my type. This is what's coming out. It's coming back to this. You'll see more and more girls with this look as they stop trying to force themselves to to be something they're not, which is size 0. This girl would look nasty if she tried to become a size 0. Look how big her knee joints are. And I've seen that before where they become anorexic and their thighs are starving. They've stripped all the meat off the legs. You see all the muscles and veins. And then the knee joints sometimes are bigger than the actual thigh. And that's just not healthy. Women are looking to be healthy now. They're tired of the silliness and the nonsense that was programmed into them for all those years as they start to push back the clock and return to the way women used to look. And I'm talking about European women, European descent women. They're going for this. Okay? Now, take a look at her face. She has a traditional, pretty European face. The square jawbone that face that European descent women have. And she has a pretty face. This was the type of white girl that I like to go for. Of different size. They could be taller or short like this. I prefer the shorter ones like this. Like I said, ex-gymnast types for my Caucasian females. But if you notice, if you brothers out there, you notice what her body looks like. It looks like our black women, our own sisters. And that's what they're going for, is that type of look. You notice our sisters look just like this. Same bodies they've had for 250,000 years, practically. Okay? So it's a good thing. When I was hunting white women, it was hard to find white women like this. You know, I had to search high and low. And when I did, it was a wonderful thing. And they came in different heights also. You know, but that same, you know, little waist, wide hips, big juicy legs, nice calves, pretty face. That's what I liked. And more are popping up every day.